to hear an English voice on it for once instead of an American.
Are you always talking to American players then?
Literally all the time, yeah. It's like 90% Americans.
Oh, really? No way.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like the Europeans just don't get on these as much. I don't know why, but hey ho.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so looks like you booked a tech skill training routine sort of lesson today, right?
Yeah, so what are the main issues that I'm having? I've been playing about, I'd say, like 8 months now, something like that. But like, I've tried to like look online for like sort of things to help with my like practice the tech skill because that's the thing that's the weakest part of my game completely, like by far, just
Yeah.
execution. But I'm just like, I sort of find myself just like going into training mode and
Oh, you cut out a bit there for me.
I go right because yeah, I'm just like
Oh,
losing active
you're back now.
execution errors.
So
Oh, sorry.
you like cut out a lot there. I didn't
Yeah,
hear
I
a lot of
know.
that.
Yeah, just basically like just execution errors are just like my main issue. So like I just definitely need to work on the tech skill, but I don't really know how to go about it.
Okay. Yeah, it's perfect. We can definitely talk about that. So, do you feel like you know a lot of the tech skill issues, or are you also like you don't know what sort of things you should practice?
Yeah, so the main one really is like wave shine. I really, really struggle to like hit a shine and just wave dash out of it or like wave land onto the platform to continue the combo. I always find that I'm just ending up either getting stuck in shine or just shine full hop and
Yeah.
then like get nothing from it, obviously, or get barely anything from it. Um, I'm really struggling with the shield pressure stuff as well. Like I find like I'll jump in with an aerial and I'm either hitting it too high on shield or I'm just like not getting the shine out after. So I'm just like
Mm-hmm.
naring or down airing on shield, getting shine and then getting stuck in it because I'm messing up the timing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then just simple stuff like not I try to do like double lasers from ledge and ledge dashing and like I'll just mess it up like 80% of the time
Yeah.
I'd say and just, I'm just getting punished for it really. And another thing that I struggle with is that like when I'm extending a combo up high, say I've shined them or up tilted them, and then I'm trying to like land with an aerial and then try to L cancel it. I'm really struggling with L canceling on the platforms. I think it's like a
Yeah.
timing issue because I'm like I'm absolutely fine
On the ground.
mostly on the ground, but like L canceling on platforms is something that I do struggle with.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. That all sounds good. We can definitely work with that. The only reason I asked for the VODs before was just in case like you didn't know what sort of things you needed to work on. But it sounds like you got a pretty good idea of what things you're messing up. It's just sort of like how to go about getting better at those and
Yeah,
sort of like
exactly.
debugging
Yeah,
them. Okay,
yeah,
awesome. So what I would suggest for this session then is do you have like your controller on you and you can like boot up Slippy and stuff?
yeah. I got slightly
Okay.
booted.
Yeah. So what we'll do then is we'll both go into game and share each other's screens, and we
Okay.
can sort of like practice these things together, and I can sort of like see which parts of it you're messing up, and like I can sort of show you how I would go about it if that sounds good with you.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So let me uh, close Steam because that's going to make it lag.
Yeah, I have to close everything when I'm playing online. It's just...
Yeah. All right. Do you have Uncle Punch as well?
Yes,
You do.
yeah,
Okay.
and I got the
Awesome.
20XX as well.
Awesome. Great. That's a good start. All right. Yeah. So if you want to go into Uncle Punch, um,
Okay.
Training mode.
Then share my screen. Yeah.
awesome. Okay. Let me just get yours open. Awesome. Yeah. So okay. So let's just make a quick list. So you said wave shining.
Yeah.
We said both on the ground, onto the platform,
Yeah.
on shield.
Yeah.
You said about L cancelling on the platforms.
Yes.
Yeah, go on.
Shield pressure, hitting my aerials low on shields and just getting like those standard like nair shine or nair down air, and all that kind of stuff on the shield. Like I really struggle with that. I find that I just end up just like tech skill flow being either missing fast falls, missing L cancels, just missing inputs in general. Just yeah.
Yep. Wave shining, L cancelling, shield pressure. Was there anything else we talked about, or were they the main three so far?
Ledge dashing as well, and just how to get the double lasers low,
yeah.
double lasers low as well.
Ledge stuff, double lasers, ledge dashing. Awesome. Okay, well let's work with those four for now, and if we feel like we're comfortable with those, we can look at some other things.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, so let's go with wave shining first of all. So if you want to just go into game, go in training lab. Let's go FD first of all. You just get your screen up quickly. Do you think you could try and turn the quality down just because it's getting a bit of like
yeah,
just try
yeah.
Just put it to like lower settings. Like it doesn't really matter too much.
Training mode.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah, that should be a bit better. Let it load. Okay, it's still a bit choppy.
Let me try again. I think I just changed the frame rate instead of the.
Okay, yeah. Just put everything on like lowest.
Yeah.
And just make sure you haven't got anything else like running or whatever. You could even minimize my stream as well. If,
that might help. Yeah.
Like, usually it isn't too important that I can see a stream of, but like for this specifically, it's like the most important thing. So
yeah.
All right, so try just doing some inputs now, just so I can see.
I can see that like it's not very good.
Yeah, still a bit choppy. Maybe put the quality down, but the frame rate up.
Okay.
Just trying to think of the best way we could do
Yeah, I think that like my my upload isn't very strong. Is like one of the issues that I do tend to have sometimes.
Okay.
I'm
trying to think about any sort
just
of
wondering. Yeah, I'm just wondering. Like, I wish I could like get my resolution to be lower because I feel like 480 would be absolutely fine, but it's just not giving me the option.
Okay, so if it doesn't work with a lower frame rate, we can just connect and it'll be a bit worse. Okay, this is fine. This is fine.
It's just
I
good.
can work with this. Yeah. I was gonna say the alternative would be we could connect, but it just makes it a bit harder to do certain things.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you want to quit out, put it on like Falcon bot, just because Kirby's a bit annoying to hit.
No.
Yes. Event.
Oh, is it even?
Yeah, one player event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, training, and then just put CPU to Falcon.
Falcon.
I mean, any of the top tiers. It's just Kirby's like kind of annoying to hit.
Yeah, they are small.
All right. Yes, if you want to put him in the middle of the stage, just use a D-pad down. So let's see. First of all, how are your wave shines like when you're not hitting the opponent? Like you're just doing it. Yeah, if you just want to send him to one side of the, like, just D-pad down by the edge of the stage.
Yeah.
Just get him over there, and then just try it. Okay. Right. So I think I've got a pretty good idea. So I always like to break down wave shining into sort of like, I'd say 3 components.
Yeah.
So there's the down B press, right? There's the jump timing, or like and then there's the wave dash angle, right? The air dodge angle. So at the moment with your ones, you're getting a lot of like these sorts of ones where you sometimes get like the noise like the right? And you're also like your character's like jittering upwards a lot when you do it, right?
Yeah.
If you want to just do a few then you'll sort of see what I mean. Like it should look kind of similar to what I was doing then.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah, like it's like I'm getting the air dodge a bit late, is it?
Yeah, exactly. You're getting the air dodge a bit late. So what you ideally want to happen, if you can see my screen, is when you do your wave dash, like Falco should duck down with his wave dashes in like a clean, sort of like down and then up. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other part there was also that like the wave dash or the air dodge length wasn't that long, right? When you were doing it. Like if you compare my wave shines to yours, you can see how far I'm going with it, right?
Yeah,
Whereas
so you get like the
yours were a
max
lot
wave
more,
dash
like-
cycle.
Yeah, so it's a combination of getting a good angle and also the jump timing. Because if you're too far in the air, then you can't go as far, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So could you just try wave dashing around on the screen as well, just so I can see if those are also. Yeah, like without shining, just do wave dashing around.
Oh, wave dash. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's getting a bit choppy again. Actually, let's just try connecting. Actually, it's probably gonna be easier.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate you said your rats is like dying just as.
Yeah.
Just as
It
we
was
got
just
lost.
dying this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. So let me just change my monitor over.
Choose your vertical.
Okay, so what's your code?
I'll type in the chat for you.
Okay.
Hold on.
It's gonna be a little bit harder because like we don't have like all the overlays and stuff, but I can sort of like tell you what I would be looking for on the overlays, and then you can sort of like adapt that to your own sort of like when you're practicing on your own or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, I should be searching.
FRNC. Yeah, I think we'll go for you now.
Cool.
Versus.
Cool.
All right, yeah. Let's quit out and go to FD.
Go. Choose your character. Versus Falco. Ready?
So yeah, so just try wave dashing about, just so I can see what we're working with. Okay. I'd say we've got quite a range there. Like sometimes you're just only getting the jump out. Oh. Game's frozen for me. Yeah, sometimes you're only getting the jump out, which is when you're doing it too early, right? The air dodge.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's you're getting a really good one, and then sometimes it's this sort of like jittery like one, right?
Yeah, it's like the timing's sort of all over the place, I think.
Yeah, so for this one, I'd really focus on like the trigger timing. Ideally, you want to try and err on like the later side rather than the earlier side, because what you don't want to happen is just it not to come out completely, right? Like I'd rather have a choppy wave dash than a what's it called?
Yeah,
Like it not
like
coming out at all, right?
Yeah.
So that would be the first thing. I'll try and connect again.
Versus Falco. Ready? Go. Choose your character. Versus.
Yeah, so now let's see you trying to do it on hit, like when the shine actually hits me.
Oh no.
That's fine. Just keep going. Nice. Yeah, so I think so the reason you can end up getting the turnaround thing sometimes is when you try to do the angle too fast, like the wave dash angle too fast. Because then you turn around because you're trying to go backwards, right?
Choose your character.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that happens quite a lot. Like I'll try to like wave dash back, and I just get stuck in the turnaround shine animation. Then and I just can't move.
Yeah. So you want to like so how I always try to split it up is like shine and then wave dash rather than trying to like shine and then move my stick and then do X and trigger, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
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 And that way you shouldn't get stuck in it. We'll try and reconnect again. This might be a bit scuffed, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Okay, so that one seemed fine. So you can have another go at it. And I would also, when you're practicing it as well, like practice hitting with both the back of the shine and the front of the shine.
Okay.
Because I guess you used to wave dashing both ways, right?
Yeah, I'm comfortable wave dashing both ways, but
yeah. Okay, yeah. So far, I think it's like the trigger timing, like, and just making sure you're not doing the angle too early. I'd say. The two main things so far with that. And then for the platforms, I'm just gonna stand up here and try and like full hop wave shine, and I want to just see how you handle it. Oh, or not.
Oh no, this is so scuffed. Okay.
We're good. Okay. Yeah, so if you just go to the ground, I'm gonna be up here.
Yeah.
And just try and do full hop shine waveland. Cool. Again. Nice. Try again. Yeah, so I think one thing with Falco as well a lot of the time is like you can afford to be a little bit slower. Just to ensure that you get, like, the jump out of the shine, for example. Just because he has so much hit stun on, like, shine, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you want to go up to the platform, I'll show you what I mean. So, like, I can jump really late and like, out of the shine. And I can still combo out of it, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the time you're just trying to go a bit too fast. Like, if you try and go up there again. Like, that was a bad one, but, you get what I mean, like I can jump quite late out of it and ensure I get it.
You can almost like give yourself like a split-second delay between like getting shine and then the jump.
Yeah, exactly. Another important thing with it as well is whereabouts you place the shines. So like if we get to Battlefield, it's gonna be a bit easier to show.
Okay.
So like there's a difference in the timing between if I shine like your legs, so down here.
Yeah.
Versus if I try and shine like your body or your head. Just wait for it to connect.
There we go. Yep.
Like up here, right? The timing for me to waveland to the platform is different. So
okay, yeah.
Because when I'm down low, I have to wait for myself to jump higher and rise up, and then I can waveland. Whereas when I hit higher up, I have to go quicker, right? Like I have to waveland down immediately.
Yeah.
So that's an important consideration when trying to execute it, is like how close am I vertically to the platform? Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. So like the higher up you are, the quicker you've got to get the wave dash out.
Yeah. Exactly. Cool. And then again, like the getting stuck in the shine thing is just a matter of like just timing the jump too early, essentially.
Yeah.
So then once you're good at that, you also need to start learning how to, if you want to go back on the platform, like do the waveland at an angle. So like this, for example, right? Where I'm sort of like wavelanding forward with it or backwards. Oops.
Yeah.
Right. But for now, I just get used to like, first of all, I think the heights are actually more important than getting that like moving forward with it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like make sure you're comfortable both hitting the waveline when it's really low.
So just doing well and just literally trying to get in place. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because what that'll do also is it'll help you across all stages. Like, what you don't want to do is always do the exact same height on this stage. Because then you'll play, like, Stadium, and you'll be shining way too high, right? Because the platform's sort of lower.
Yeah, and, like, the opposite on Dreamland and whatever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd say that's good for wave shining.
Okay.
So let's do L cancelling next on the platform. So I'll go up here. If you just want to try and hit me. See what happens.
Like, I think I hold the trigger too quick sometimes. Oops.
I'll just go down. So, let me quit out actually. Just one FD. I just want to see if you can do, so like, you said you can do sort of like, you can hit the Arkansas on the ground, right? Like, if you just short hop aerial me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So try doing a full hop aerial. And try and hit it. Okay, try again. And, you know, do that a couple times in a row. I think that one you missed. Oops. Right, so I think we're actually missing a lot of these full hop ones, right?
Yeah, like, more often than not, I'd say.
Yeah, so I think it might actually just be like again, like a vertical thing, rather than like specifically being on the platform. So I tried to grind out just landing with a full hop aerial, and I think that'll help a lot with the timing.
Yeah, I think what I do is, like, I have it in my head that, like, I press the button for the aerial and then I instantly just hit the L cancel button regardless of where my character is, and I sort of, like, need to wait, like, sort of practice, like, the L cancel for, like, actually when I'm touching the ground, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like-
the trigger input is based on how close you are to the ground, rather than in relation to when you did the aerial input. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, because, like, you can nair all the way up here and like,
Yeah,
you need
still
to
have
press
to...
the trigger later, right? So I would try and practice doing aerials at all sorts of different heights.
Yeah.
You know, like this, you know, halfway down, right at the top. You know, yeah, like double jump and then fall with one. Different fast fall timings. No fast fall. And even on the ground, you know, a lot of people, they're really good at doing like this sort of aerial, right? But what about if you want to no fast fall and get that little bit extra distance, right? Then you also need to be able to cancel that.
Yeah, when I'm playing people online, I see them do that. Is that like a no fast fall? Like,
Yeah, because it's like, I can show you quickly. So like, if I'm trying to hit the corner here and I fast fall, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's enough space for Marth to pivot grab me. But if I do no fast fall, look where I end up, right?
Yeah, then you're all the way. Yeah, I see them do it a lot. Like, I feel like when I'm doing my short hop area, I normally just, like, empty hop, basically, for half of the hop, and then, like, just basically, like, if I'm doing, like, a down air, I just, like, flick both sticks down, right? So I'm just going like that. So I only do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that one's a good, like... I'd say the no fast fall thing is more of a niche thing. Like, I think what you're doing is a good, like, is more of the fundamental, like, good thing to do. So that's good for that. But it's more about, like, you don't want to have situations where, like, you're missing L cancels because you're, like, unfamiliar, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You want to be hitting your execution in every possible, like, scenario. Because Melee's so, like, lots of things happen, you can end up in lots of weird spots, right? Like, you know, an example for this one is maybe, you know, Fox does, like, a high side B and you want to cut that out, like, as he's coming down, right? And if you're not good at executing this, then that could be the difference between, you know, hitting the edge guard and getting reversaled.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I
that is like something that happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I'd also go to different stages. Bouncing can actually be pretty good for this because of the differing platform heights. so you'll need to like change your timings, right? So practice, you know, jumping off the platform. You know, going up here and doing an aerial from down here. This is one people struggle with a lot as well, is like an aerial from here. And then hitting the L cancel when they land on the top platform.
Okay, so like almost like a down air onto the top plat and then...
Yeah, and then fast full L cancel onto it, right?
Okay.
I mean, it does auto cancel on a lot of stages, but it's also good to know, you know, to be able to like fast forward when you need to, right? Or like if you're doing that, for example. So that's how I would go about practicing that.
Yeah.
Like, get all of those down first, and then you can start working on hitting the L cancels, like, in your actual, like, you know, if you were comboing, you know, you get your up tilt, and then you, like, aerial onto the platform, for example. But you need those, like, raw, like, being able to just hit this first before you can do any of that. Cool, okay. So, gonna move on to shield pressure next. This one's probably gonna be the hardest one. Just because I don't have infinite shield.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I'll actually go with Sheik for this one just because she has a better shield for this.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm just gonna shield in the middle, and I want you to just do some like aerial, like try and like aerial shine me. Yeah, this is why it's gonna be a problem. Okay. Okay. Shield's too low.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, so one thing I will say is Nair's a lot better on shield than down air in a lot of spots.
Is it just safe? Is it just because it's safe for like get a few more frames or something?
Yeah, it just has less lag, so you're less like minus on shield.
Yeah.
A key thing with Nair, at least, is that it's not about how high it hits. At least for dealing with shield grab, it's whether you hit with it rising or falling.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's quite big because you can like as Falco. You can Nair all the way up here, and it's still going to be safe if you execute it properly.
Yeah.
Even as Sheik, you can do that as well. And I can, like, shield after. Like, if you want to shield and try and, like... I can do that, for example. That one I messed up the execution on. But,
yeah, that one was...
a bit harder for Sheik, obviously, because she has a spot dodge. But, yeah, so it definitely look for like whether it's rising or descending, rather than how high or low it is. Down air's a bit different. You can get a down air that's safe if it hits like at the top of the shield descending, but it's like frame perfect. So usually with down air you want to be really low. Like if I go Falco. Like you want to be like if you shield. Like that sort of, like, low, right? Whereas with Nair, for example, if you just run off and get your shield back, again, like, I can be, like, all the way up there, and that Nair is still safe, right?
Yeah.
Or, like, this Nair is safe. Right? So in terms of, like, the execution thing, when you do that input, you said you do like double sticks down, right?
Yeah.
Are you flicking the stick down, like the control stick?
Yeah, I sort of just flick them both down and just let go as quickly as I can.
Yeah, so how I would try and do that instead is hold down on the control stick afterward, because that way you can shine a lot easier, right? Because you're already holding down. Whereas when you flick it, you have to like flick down again to get the shine out, right?
Oh, okay, so like...
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? And it's also going to be easier on your hands because you're not doing as many inputs.
Yeah,
that's quite hard to flick down to, like double flick down to get the shine input. So yeah, I would just hold down when you do the fast fall rather than flicking down. It makes it a bit harder to do now, because you need to sort of like time it well. But yeah, so just try doing that a little bit. You could even, like, it might be easier at first, actually, to just do, like, an empty jump and just press down and then try and shine as soon as you hit the ground. Just to get the timing on the shine part down. Yeah. Honestly, with any textile and melee, and I'm sure you might figure this out, but, like, it's better to break up into parts, right? Like,
yeah, that's where I get confused, I think. I think I try to, like, just learn the whole thing in once, and then, like, I either can't do it, or I struggle to, or I sort of work out how to do it, but I'm not doing it the correct way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and then, like,
I get
it comes
you.
into like I think like one of the things that I've tried to do with learning how to wave shine is I've sort of done that thing where like I get the timing a little bit wrong, so I do get stuck like that when I'm trying to do it, and just get stuck in the turnaround because I just haven't got the input timings right.
Yeah.
So I think
And it's also like when you understand the different components as well, it's very easy to tweak the one that you need to fix, right? Compared to like if you've just learned one sequence, like you've got no idea where in that sequence like things are going wrong, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, so I think for now, I would just work on doing that rather than even bothering with, like, trying to hit it on shield, first of all. Like, you know, do this until you feel comfortable with it, and then try out this, like, falling and doing it, right? I mean, you can give it a go now, I'll shield, see if you can do it.
Yeah, I think like I find that like when I hit it on the shield, like you get that sort of like a little bit of hit stun yourself when you hit against the shield. Yeah, and like that throws my timing off really bad, and I basically just like miss the fast fall, miss the L cancel.
Yeah. So you can either do the fast fall before or after you hit. Before or after the hit tag.
Okay.
Both have advantages and disadvantages. But you can try that. Like, even just try hitting me without me shielding, because it's the same, like, timing.
Yeah.
And also, like, this works for some people and not for others. For me, personally, like, that sort of, like, physical, like, I'm hitting them, and then that's my cue to fast fall. Like, sort of like the sound cue, and I'm not telling you to, like, react to the sound cue, but it's just sort of that, like, I just hit them, and they go, like, dun, and like, that's my cue to sort of, like...
yeah, so sort of like that, like, that's, like, your sort of, like, I don't know what the word is, but, like, sort of, like, your cue to know that you can fast fall. Yeah.
Like, that's just how I sort of, like, visualize it, you know, you can come up with your own sort of, like, way to... you know, tell when it's happening or when it's your time to, like, fast forward. But,
yeah.
I'm very, like, personally, it works really well for me with this sort of, like, tech skill things when I have, like, a rhythm that I can follow with it.
Yeah, I think I like having the rhythm.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously, like, the game doesn't just, like, work like that, and when stuff sort of falls out of when something falls out of my rhythm, that's when, like, I just can't do the inputs anymore.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But I mean, you're doing those really well. But yeah, it's just about, like, you know, like, doing it on hit, you know, doing it from different heights.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what happens to a lot of people is, like, I mean, like you were showing there, like, you're fucking amazing at doing this. Like, you could probably do it with your eyes closed. But this isn't really that valuable, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not going to have a situation in a game where I have to do that.
Like, I know there's that, like, stupid quote about, like, you know, mastering one thing 1,000 times rather than... But, like, in this case, like, this is, you know, I would rather you're, like, 50% consistent at all of these different types of aerials and hitting the execution, rather than being godlike at doing this and awful at doing all the other things, right? Like,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
So just make sure you're, like, really being quite balanced with what you're practicing and, like, the different ways in which you're practicing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go out. So the time resets. So we can talk a little bit about the ledge as well. So if you want to show me you trying to do, like, double lasers.
That's pretty much how it goes every time. Like that, the high lasers like that. Like if I'm in a game situation.
Yep. Okay. And how are you inputting those? Like, what are you jumping with SS?
I flick down with the control stick and then immediately jump with X and then laser.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're doing it that method, the lowest ones you can get, in my opinion, like if you want to watch me quickly,
yeah,
would be like that. You can't really get two at the same height.
Yeah.
Just like mechanically, like it's just too difficult to do that. So a lot of people to get these ones, they either do up on the control stick, like down up, BB.
Okay.
Or a lot of people claw it.
Yeah, clawing is one of those things that like just feels really uncomfortable
It does,
to me.
yeah, it does at first. For me, it helped that like I started clawing a lot of other things off of the ledge, like these back airs, for example. Like I used to not do it and only do control stick for this stuff. And at your level, that's probably fine, honestly. And you know this is how I did double lasers for years to get them lower. Yeah, I would pick one of those two if you want to get your lasers lower.
Okay, I'll probably stick with the control stick. I think that would be more comfortable for me.
Yeah, sounds good. Alright, so yeah, so just try that. What's gonna happen is you're gonna end up upbeating a lot. Yep. So again, like, break it down. Just try and do, like, down, up on the control stick, first of all. Yep. And then try down, up, and then drift to the right. Yep. And when you do it also, you don't want to hold to the right, you want to flick to the right. Because if you hold to the right, that's when you're going to get a side B on your lasers, right?
Okay, so like it's just like a up-down flick to the right.
Yeah. Or what you can do also is, let me just watch myself doing this. Sort of like a half circle upwards is the best way I can describe it.
So when you're doing it, is it like say if you're holding on the right hand side of the, you're doing down and then like
so I'm doing
half circle sort of around to the left and up.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
like
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of like around to the left and up. Yeah.
So that can work as well, whichever you feel comfortable with. Essentially, you're just trying to get it so that you're not going to get side B when you press B.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so now try it with the B press and see what happens. Yep, that's good. Yeah, even just try doing that first, and then you can speed it up, right?
Yeah.
Again, it's easier to go from slow to fast, rather than fast to slow. In my opinion, at least.
I think you're right there, yeah.
Nice, that's fine. Or even, you know, try doing, like, really high double lasers with the control stick first. Like this height. And then adjust so that you get them lower, right? And the way you adjust to get them lower is by, what's it called? Falling for longer, and then doing it, right?
Trying to get the thumb speed of doing the half circles really hard.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, once you think you have a good idea of how you practice that, we can move on.
Yeah, I think I get where I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, with this, make sure you practice it from both sides as well.
Yeah.
Be that guy that can only do it one side. Okay. So ledge dashing was the next one here, right?
Yeah. So, like, I'm not awful at it. It's just.
Yeah, you look decent so far. Again, like, with any sort of wave landing thing, the key components are always the jump timing and the air dodge angle, right?
Yeah.
So far your ones seem like you're not getting much of an angle, and that's either because of your jump timing or because of the actual like angle, right? So could you walk me through like how you're executing it? Like, are you doing back or down first of all?
Down.
You're doing down, okay.
Yeah.
So what you can do with down that I find makes it easier and can give you more gallon is just to hold the down and in angle afterward.
Down and in.
Yeah. Or you can even do like press down and then like roll towards the down and in. Like whether you do down or back is completely up to you. Generally, back is easier and more consistent, but has less intangibility on average.
Yeah.
I personally do back. I know Leffen does back. Prof does down. I think Ginger does down. So there's a big mix.
Yeah.
Generally, with the ledge dash, I mean, at least in my opinion, I would prefer to get like a 4-gallon ledge dash every time, which means I can like roll or shield or spot dodge, rather than getting a 12 half the time and SDing the other half the time. But that's just me, you know. It's whatever you sort of want to go with that.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like especially at my level, I mean, getting a 4 frames of gallon every time would be amazing, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I think you can go for like 4 with both of them. It's just if you're really trying to like push and get those higher numbers, down's usually better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally think it's harder. Down is also more susceptible to like different ways in which you grab the ledge. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but how you grab the ledge affects how the timing on the ledge dash. So if you grab it from like an up B, that's different from grabbing it from a double jump, which is different from grabbing it from a side B.
Oh no, I didn't know this at all.
Yeah, so which is also different from like a refresh. So that can also be a factor that makes it harder to ledge dash sometimes. To be really specific, it's to do with your collision box, like sort of how you interact with the stage during your jump. And how you grab the ledge changes that collision box. So again, this is another reason why me and Leffen both do back instead, because it sort of affects it less. But one way you can get around this is to always do the same sort of refresh before you ledge dash. So that can be fire stalling, that can be double jumping, right?
Yeah, I like the fire stall.
Yep.
That's generally what I go for, like either somewhere between 1 and 3 of the stalls and then just ledge dash.
Yeah, so I was going to say make sure you're mixing up the number, you don't want to be that person with like a really predictable timing. I would say it is also useful to learn how to ledge dash from all these different things immediately.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be looking for like 50 gallon off of these, I would just be looking to get on stage. Because the main value of it is when somebody like does a smash attack by the ledge and they're in lag, for example. Like you want to get up and punish immediately, right? Or like get to the center.
Yeah.
So when you're practicing this, I don't know if you know, but in Uncle Punch you can set it so it puts you at a random point off stage.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, so definitely do that. You know, practice up being to the ledge, fast fall side beam. Also do stuff like, you know, up B high and then fall to the ledge and then try and get on. Or up B, fall, stall, and try and ledge dash, right? You can also shorten to the ledge. That's really important. Or like fall and then try and double jump sweet spot.
How do you shorten? Is it just a timing thing of the double? Oh right, okay.
Yeah, it's just timing. So, shorten has 3 different lengths. So I'll try and show them all off. If I do this, I'm sick. So there's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
4.
There's the 4th. Yeah.
So the second and the third ones are 1 frame inputs. The
Right.
shortest one is a 2 frame input.
Oh damn. Okay.
Again, this is one where like thinking of it in sort of a rhythm, I think, is really important. So for the shortest one, it's sort of like duh 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 duh, right?
Okay.
To put it into frames, I think it's frame 18 where you have to do it. I'm not 100% sure. 18 or 17, I think. So this one's difficult to tell because I can't tell whether you're doing it too early or too late.
Yeah.
Actually. If you're getting like a mid shorten, then that means you're too late for sure. Nice. Yeah, it looks like you're starting to get the timing. I would not even attempt to fucking mid-shorten on purpose. That is like not in your what's it called? Like that's not what you should be working on at the moment.
yeah. There's 100 steps before I get to that. Yeah.
but doing the shortest shorten is actually really important, I think.
Yeah,
because,
just having shorten.
Yeah, because you can be here, like where I am now, and it is incredibly difficult for people to edgeguard you if you can shorten here. They have to essentially hard read you and go to the ledge. Whereas if you only have that full shorten available, or like full length, you know, people can just down smash, they can down tilt, they can do whatever the fuck they want, right? So learning that spacing on that shorten is really important. So that's how I would go about practicing the ledge dashing. And again, when you're trying to figure out like what's going wrong with it,
Choose your character.
go back.
Versus
You know, if you're getting a really choppy one like that, it's probably that you're jumping too high before doing it. If you're not getting a very good angle, then that means you're not pressing far enough inwards, right? If you're SDing like that, where you air dodge and hit the the ledge, then that means you did the air dodge too soon. And all of this stuff you can see in the unclench overlays, right?
Yeah.
What might be worth doing is recording yourself doing it a bit, and then you can actually see the numbers, right? Because it's too fast. It goes too fast when you're just like, you know, doing 20 of them in a row.
Yeah.
And then you can sort of build up an idea of like which errors relate to which sorts of like SDs and stuff, right?
Yeah. The only other question I have, like, in regards to ledge dashing is, like, sometimes I'll just ledge dash, but then I don't really know what to do after. Like, what would I really be looking to do? Am I, like, wanting to...
Yeah.
Am I shielding, or am I naring, or... You know, or, like, I don't know. Yeah. Like...
Okay, so for you, what I want you to practice is your sort of your lowest gallon options, right? And then we're going to build up from there. So your lowest gallon options are the ones that are the fastest, right? Like your fastest options. So so you know, name me a couple of really fast things you can do.
So I'm thinking, like, obviously, like shine, shield, maybe like short up nair or short up down air, something like that.
So the short hop aerials are actually taking a lot longer than those, right? Because you have to go through your dash and your jump and then your aerial. So the average jump aerial, like a fastest possible one, takes 9 frames for the nair and 10 for down air. So you'd need 10 frames of gallon to be able to get those out invincibly, which is quite a lot, right?
Yeah. It's
whereas
like
with a shine, you need 1 frame. Or with shield, you need 1 frame. So the other 2 quick ones I'd suggest learning are roll. Roll only takes 4 frames.
Okay.
And spot dodge is only 2 frames.
Yeah.
So with those, you only need like 4 frame count, which is like very, very doable. Even with those choppy ones you were doing, you were probably getting 4 gallon.
Okay.
And that's enough options there. Like you have an aggressive option in Shine, you have a defensive option in Shield, and you have a get me back to center option in Roll.
Yeah.
Full hop also potentially as well. Especially if you have like a platform. That can be really good.
Yeah.
To get you out of there as well. But I wouldn't even mess with trying to do like this sort of thing until you're getting like really high gallon numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that should give you a good sort of like baseline to work with. Also dashing as well is quite quick. So you can do like ledge dash and then dash back. Again, that's a quick option. And I mean, that's something, you know, in later stages we could talk about how you sort of like use those as mix-ups, right? But for now, that's just something for you to do after your ledge dash to practice.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Okay. So that's all the ones we had wrote down. I think we've got like 10 minutes left or so.
Yeah.
So if there's anything else you want to sort of like, you know, if there's any other questions you had or things you wanted to go over.
The only other thing is what's it now? What's it called when you're going through the shield dropping? That's what I'm looking
Shield
for.
dropping, yeah.
Shield dropping. Yeah. It's one of the things that like I've slowly been trying to do, but it's one I can't do in a game situation.
Yep, that's fine.
I just find that I just get like I just get the roll, or I just get stuck in shield, or
yeah.
I know that it's sort of like, are you supposed to lean it like slightly to the side and then down or something like that? But
yeah. So the way I always like to set it up is like if I dash on the platform and then shield, I hold my dash input so that I'm automatically like pressing forward, right? Does that make sense? Like if you just do dash and then shield on the platform, you see how
you're already
rolled forward.
Yeah.
So how a lot of people describe it is like you've already prepared it, like you've already prepped it.
And then is it just like a quarter circle roll down?
Yeah, and then you literally just roll along the gate downwards, and you can flick it.
Okay.
So if you're getting a roll, that means that you did the forward input too late. And if you're doing a spot dodge, that means you went too far down the gate.
Yeah.
And if you get this weird thing where you sort of like angle it a little bit but nothing happens, let me try and do it again. This is actually so hard. Like that.
Yeah.
Then that means that you just didn't go down far enough.
Oh, okay. So like like I haven't.
So you sort of want to flick the stick to like a 4:30 or like 5 o'clock sort of angle. You don't want to go all the way to 6 o'clock, and you don't want to go to like, I don't know, like 3:30.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, so it's almost like sort of like down and forward at the same time.
Down forward, yeah, exactly. And again, you can sort of like prepare this anytime you're in lag. So like, say you wave landed, right? You could be holding forward, and then when you shield, you'll already be angling it forward, right?
Yeah.
That's probably going to be pretty hard to do at the moment. I'm just sort of telling you for like reference, or like if you just whiffed an aerial, or with like an up tilt, you know. You can be holding forward while you're in your lag, and then when you shield, you'll already be angling it, right?
Yeah.
So the other thing with this as well is the forward down input that you're doing. You can do that during shield stun. So if I hit you with a move on the platform, and you do that input, you'll buffer the shield drop. So you'll do it as soon as you can.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's kind of hard to do, obviously.
Yeah.
But how you can practice this is there's a shield drop, or I think it's called I think it is actually just called shield drop training on Uncle Punch. I could be wrong. But one of the Uncle Punch events is it has somebody attacking you on the platform.
Okay, and like all he wants to do is just like basically
Just shield
just
Yeah,
tank it on shield and just shield drop.
and just shield drop. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
With Falco, it's a bit hard because it's sort of designed for other characters. Because a lot of other characters will do like shield, like Martha will like shield drop fair, or Sheik will shield drop fair. But with Falco, his shield drop options are very like below him or next to him. Like Shine, for example, right? Or down air.
Yeah, I see a lot of shield drop down there, like
Yeah.
at my level anyway.
But yeah, so just get that shield drop down first. Again, like, I think the easiest way to set up is just dashing on the platform, hold the stick, shield, and then...
Yeah, just try and do it slow and then just...
Yeah, again, build up from there. Like, again, it would even help just practice doing, like, be here, dash forward shield, dash forward shield. And you can see how, like, I can do it where I'm barely moving. But I can also go quite far with it if I want to, right? Like, I have a lot of control over it. And this is also, like, how you do shield stops as well. If you've ever seen anybody do that. Prof does that a lot.
I don't know what that is, no.
Okay, so it's basically, when you do your dash, like, you carry your momentum, right?
Yeah.
But if you dash shield, you stop instantly. So it lets you do stuff like this where you can jump in place. Right?
It's almost like a spacing tool.
Yeah, it's a spacing tool, right? It just gives you very precise control over where you want to space.
Ah,
so, like, you can do
okay,
stuff like this, for example, which is kind of hard to do otherwise. But it's useful on the platform where you want to shield drop on like a really specific spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would get used to doing that. Once you feel comfortable with the shield drop, that's when you can start to implement some of the moves out of it. So like, nah. I would personally recommend doing this from the top platform first, just so you have a bit more time to work with.
Yeah.
Rather than... Side platform's incredibly hard to do it from, honestly. And it's sort of like, the big thing with this as well is you can't react to yourself doing the shield drop and then do the aerial. You have to sort of like know or believe that you're gonna get it. You know?
Trust you.
Trust that you're gonna get it, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once you can do that, like, long term, I'd want you to be able to, you know, do all your aerials out of it, do shine out of it, even do laser out of it, you know, shield drop and then double jump, waveland, I'd say those are the main ones. And make sure you're fast falling when you do the aerials as well. A lot of people do this, and that's very slow, right? Compared to, that. Right.
Yeah, like
there's a big difference, especially with Falco because of his fast fall speed.
Yeah.
But that's very long term for now. You know, just get comfortable with the shield drop input itself.
And
then yeah, the better you get it, you know, there's those Uncle Punch events you can try it on. And yeah, like I said, try it from the top platform just because it gives you a bit more time to work with.
Okay. Yeah.
And again, do it really slow and then speed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last thing, more related to your Metafy. Like, I didn't realize beforehand. Like, I did this lesson because I had the Metafy code, but I do think that like the I want to keep doing the lessons because I think like just almost like it's almost like a little bit of accountability, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like I need practice because I like otherwise, what's the point? You know what I mean? Having the lessons.
I get you.
So like. I saw that you have like a beginner's guide. Would you recommend that for me, or do you think that like that is?
Let me have a think. So the beginner's guide, what it is I have like PowerPoints on like some different concepts that I run through, and then I sort of like show some like in-game examples of those things. So like there's sort of like, you know, different like things you can do in neutral or like punish game things, like that sort of thing. So if you're after more of the like theory side of the game, I think that's really good. But if you're after more sort of like, you know, this sort of thing, then I think there's other options on there that are probably better. It's really what you want to get out of it, honestly.
I think to be perfectly honest, like the entirety of my knowledge of the game really is just simply just through watching tournaments on Twitch.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So like the theory stuff definitely helps with me. I played a lot of Ultimate before I started Melee, and like what helped me a lot was sort of understanding the frame data, knowing what moves are safe on my shield, not safe on my shield, etc. So I then like in my head, like I know, oh, I know that like they've done this on my shield. I know that this is the option,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So like I don't know whether like maybe like just like going through that might be beneficial to me if you like that's sort of like what the kind of thing that's in there or not. Because I don't really know the frame data in Melee outside of like the well known stuff like Shine being
Shine
frame
frame
one,
one.
Rest being frame one, etc. Like I
Okay.
don't really like say for example I don't know a Sheik nares me on shield. My
What
options
can I
other
do?
than like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Okay. Um, Let me have a think.
But at the same time, obviously, like I've got a lot to work on now from this. So, like, would it be just a good idea just to keep like doing sort of the same thing, like with the lessons, just to make sure that I'm still keeping up and maybe just progressing on what I'm learning at the moment? Good idea to sort of spread wide, or just sort of practice a few things, master them, practice a few things, master them.
Yeah, so
I
I'd say the big advantage with the beginner's guide thing is that sort of like after we've gone through it all, we'll be sort of like on the same page with a lot of concepts, and it'll be a lot easier to like talk about the game and like analyze and all of that stuff after.
yeah,
But there's some people that also they just sort of like they'll send me a video of them playing, and like we'll do one of these like what's it called,
like a VOD review.
VOD review,
Yeah,
and we'll do that for like different matchups. Like I've got one guy that's sort of like buying one of those matchup bundles for each matchup he comes across.
yeah,
Works on it that way. I think now that we've gone through a load of tech skill stuff here, that should keep you busy with that for at least a couple months.
yeah. I think so too. Yeah,
So I don't think you need any more sorts of like execution stuff to be
yeah.
getting on with for a while.
Hmm.
So I'd say I would probably say some more theory stuff, and that could be either coming to that beginner's guide training plan, or it could be just watching a couple of your VODs you've got.
Yeah,
And I'd say once you feel a bit more comfortable with your execution and the theory stuff, that's when we could start doing like me watching you play ranked, for example, and I could help you as you're playing.
yeah,
I'm a bit hesitant to suggest that at the moment, just because you're already focusing so hard on like really hitting your execution and all. There's a lot going on, so anything I say just like won't go in in the moment.
yeah. I understand.
It's
Yeah.
gonna go in one ear out the other. So yeah, there's sort of like two options there. It's really up to you. I think both are good. So either look for one of the training plans, or we can just go over some VODs one at a time.
Okay.
Completely up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
All right,
got any
awesome.
other questions with that, feel free to let me know.
Yeah.
More than happy
All
to
right.
help.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I've been recording this as well, so I have like a private playlist that I upload them to. If you want to watch back and see me executing anything or what I said, then
Yeah. Yeah. That'd
got
be
that
great
there.
for like a little refresher. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, yeah. Any questions in the meantime? Feel free to message me on Discord. But
All right.
otherwise, yeah, I'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you very much, bro. That was sick. Yeah.
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 No
That was really
problem.
cool. Nice one.
All right.
All
See
right.
ya.
See you soon. Thank you.